Hey everyone, thank you for joining us on the Bloodline podcast by Precision Hunting Supply. Today I have a couple special guests, my partner, Brett Broman, as well as our friend and Swarovski rep, Tom Mckenna. Now, Tom has been representing, otherwise working around Swarovski Optiks for 25 years. The last 12 years, he's been the Southwest regional rep for Swarovski. So Tom, Brett, good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
What do we have to chat about today? We have a lot of exciting things, some new products, some things that are launching pretty much right now, right when this podcast comes out. Some of this new product will be just available for public consumption. And so kind of new and exciting. And I'm hoping that we get to be one of the first to talk about it. So again, welcome. Let's open right up with this exciting new product.
Sure. So new product today is kind of an extension of our EL range line. So we have a new EL range 12 by 42. Does all the same things that the 1042 and the 1032 do with more magnification. And one of the cool new features about this particular new product for us is it's actually tripod mountable. So right out of the gate, tripod mountable with the new tripod adapter that we have. A system that we developed with the new 1052 and 1452 NLs. So that's a really exciting product for us. This new EL range in 12 power. It's been asked for. We've been asking for it for a while, as people in the field, but so have guides and outfitters and hunters have been asking for a more magnification EL range, kind of that one and done glass. So they have one product that they can carry on their chest that has multiple uses.
Yeah. This is exciting. I love the integrated Ranger. That's key. I love that. I'm getting tired of this. I'm getting tired of glassing up a bucker bull and then doing this. So integrated rangefinders are key.
Yeah, unfortunately, those little compact rangefinders, while they are convenient, they're small and inconvenient, lightweight, and you can put them in just about any pocket. They also don't have the largest of magnification. They don't have the largest, objective size. They kind of fail in the light gathering and the details and so on. And you're still using two pieces of equipment. I go from my hand bino, now I got to go to my rangefinder, and then I got to figure out how to put it away without making a bunch of noise or, a lot of movements and stuff. But yeah, pretty much just being able to use this one product and do so many things with it is really key. I remember when the first EL ranges came out, it was just like, yes, finally. And then, of course, the first question was, when can we get one with more power?
Right.
Because again, the 12 was really popular, has been really popular. It's that kind of tweener between going from your big tripod mounted glass to your just basic handheld glass.
Yeah, that's exciting. And that will be, this will be released, or you'll start talking about this at SHOT Show 2025.
That is correct. Yes. Yep. So 2025 SHOT Show release on that. It sits right there. So that's right when we do most of our releases.
And we are a Swarovski dealer, so we're going to have some access to this product. Tom, talk about that accessibility and if people be able to get this year.
Yeah, so it's looking like we're going to have good numbers of these things right out of the gate. I know that that's we got to hit that demand model. When the demand is up, you got to get them there. So so we're looking forward to having these products ready to go at the dealer level right there. So for SHOT Show. Yep.
We didn't mention this new product has track assist.
That's correct. Yeah. So it still has the same features as the current models, the 10s and the 832, 1032s and the current 8 and 1042s. It still has all the same features. Ballistics profile does weather on demand essentially. It's basically doing your ballistics correction in the field by by what's contained inside it for barometric pressure and stuff. It also has that tracking assist feature built into it. So it will actually, you're able to record, your last 3 ranges and plot them onto a map and, get a line drawing of where you need to go. And it's really accurate. Takes a lot of that guesswork out of which canyon are we supposed to be in. when you're on
Yeah.
the move.
Yeah.
It's one
Right.
thing from where you shot your last range from and see where you're going, but then once you start going, like in Arizona, you start going downhill,
Yeah.
forget it. It's all lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a
Shed
big deal.
hunters, bone collectors going to like that too, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Because
Yeah.
if I look for something, if I find something and I
Right.
basically pin it,
Yeah.
and then I can actually plot it on a map and walk to it, or it should be within a good, I should be within an area I can work with, right?
Yeah.
So I can change it from basically big macro to somewhat of a micro territory to work.
It's a big deal with regard to that because, a lot of guys hunt solo, right? And from where you shoot your animal or whatever you're looking for, if you see some bone or something like that, as soon as you go down that canyon and up the other side, everything looks completely different.
Yeah.
You could say, hey, I want to go find that green tree with the dead branch on top. And as soon as you get over there, you find 7 of them.
Yeah, they're
So
all
you don't
green
know.
trees with
They're all
dead
green
branches.
trees. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's by that rock next to that
Yeah.
cactus.
Yeah. So just to simply be able to have a spot, and how close will this get you? Does it give you like a variance on like how close it'll get you to the spot?
It will all depend upon how good your initial measurement was.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's got a compass built into it, so you actually have to calibrate the compass.
Mhm.
So that's critical,
Right.
calibrating the compass. But once you've done those things, it will get you within that, a circle of say 20 yards or so.
Yeah.
That's pretty small.
Yeah, for sure.
If you do it right and everything's right, you can get yourself within a really good spot.
Yeah.
You should be able to find what you're looking for. At least gives you a better starting spot than the wrong canyon.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I have done that.
Well, it makes me think about, Brett, we haven't done this in a while, but when we're out archery hunting, spot and stalk, and we're, one guy's keeping an eye on the buck and the other guy's making a move, that'd be kind of nice technology to use too.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, these are a big deal, just like the 1242s now bumping up in the 14s, guys are like all crazy about the 14s, and obviously the demand is showing that. For these to go from 10s to 12s now, like you're saying, that all one and done thing I think that's a huge deal, because guys are always talking about, what do I want to wear on my chest? What do I want to carry in my pack?
Right.
I want to be lightweight, but all these issues, I think this solves it, so they're going to be able to have the rangefinder, have an extra 2-power magnification, and then also be able to have a tripod manimal. I mean, what else are you really going to need? And the glass is fantastic glass as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Can you speak a little bit just to relation to the NL glass versus the EL glass?
When we look at, without having, like the intimate knowledge of what it is and how it's built and all that, because that's really kept secret to us, but in just what I can see, the glass quality that's in the EL ranges is just slightly below where the NL is, and the NL is just absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
So it's hard to to argue that there's anything better out there, but this is just slightly below that area, and it is phenomenal. I don't really find too much of a difference running from my NL to my EL. I can go from between the two, and I don't see a whole lot of difference. Field of view going to be a little bit different. The field of view on an NL is absolutely astonishing, and beyond anything that what anyone would expect. But the EL range is right there, so I don't feel like I'm giving up anything by switching between the two. They're just two different tools.
For sure.
Yeah, I think from that kind of that one and done. I've always felt that a 12-power glass could be like, if you could only have one, like if it's Sophie's choice. We make a lot of good stuff, but if you could only have just that one piece, I've always been a pretty big fan of just a 12-power.
Yeah. Hold that up again, would you? Hold it up again. Just want to compare it. I'm a 15 guy. That looks like it's quite a bit more compact, probably lightweight.
Yep.
And so much more versatile. I love my 15s. But there's a lot going on there, a lot you can do with it.
Oh, yeah. And that's why that 12 being that kind of that one and done is like we have 12 power. Yeah, you can handhold it. Is it better on a tripod? Absolutely. But is it, it's not bad trying to handhold it either. It balances really well in the hand. Side to side, it already is going to be balanced, but it balances front to rear, which actually makes it really stable. It fits the hand really well. The little bumps down here where the electronics and stuff are all stored in it actually fit the heel of your hand really well. So it
got kind of an ergonomic design there.
Yeah. So it balances good, and you can actually hand hold it quite well. Put it on a tripod, and now you got another beast. It's a whole nother animal. You can just basically just glass with it like you would like a 15 or a 14 NL pure, or even the 1242 NL pure. Just glass with it on a tripod and just go.
And Tom,
Right
these are
on.
going to have the ability to have the new tripod mounting system, right?
That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's already equipped with the receiver for the tripod mount that will allow you to use the tripod adapter through the bino itself, and then mount it right onto a tripod.
So the NLs and the ELs are all going to have the same system.
Mm-hmm.
The SLCs are going to have the old system
That's correct.
for a while.
Possibly.
And is there any other different bino that's going to have the new mounting system, or just those two primarily?
Well, the NL42s are going to have the new bino system in it,
That's
and
right,
then
yep.
all the way down to the 32s. So
To the 32s,
Yep.
okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So they'll all be using that tripod adapter that we've produced.
Yeah, very cool. Very cool. I think guys are going to be excited about it, man.
I
really
agree.
do.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
Yep.
So I'm
I
coming
agree.
at you from the Precision Hunting Supply Bloodline Podcast World Headquarters up in Overgard, Arizona. You guys are in the store down in Mesa. So what else did Tom bring today, Brett?
He brought some cool stuff. He's got some new rifle scopes that are going to be coming out,
Yep.
and we'll talk about a little cleaning kit here in a little bit. But why don't you talk about these new rifle scopes, Tom?
Yeah. So for 2025, new rifle scope for us called the Z5 Plus. So it takes our really popular Z5 line of rifle scopes, which were a 1-inch tube-based rifle scope, and we've taken it to the next level. That's why the plus. So it is gone from a 1-inch tube rifle scope now to a 30 millimeter scope. So that allows us to do some different things, some things that we need, that takes that Z5 to the next level. One of which being the Z5 Plus scope in its ballistic turret format now has multiple revolutions on the ballistic turret.
That's huge.
Yeah, it's huge because that allows us to be able to take the scope out to more range, right?
Mm-hmm.
We get more range out of
Right.
those calibers that everybody's using, whether it's a 6.5 Creedmoors or the 6.5 PRCs or even 7 PRCs. Now with the 2 revolutions, we're actually able to take that out to its full potential.
Yeah.
The Z5 Plus had a limit of not quite 1 full revolution on that elevation turret.
Yeah.
So now that increases that. Scope has 80 MOA of total travel from its very bottom to its very top 80. So basically you got 40 from center down and up. So that's big.
Yeah.
So there's actually three models in the lineup. So the smallest of which being a 2-10 by 42. So it's an ultra lightweight rifle scope offering. As far as I'm concerned, this would be perfect on like your little lightweight sheep rifles, right?
Yeah.
10 power, can be illuminated and non-illuminated. Also have ballistic turret option or non-ballistic turret option, or ballistic drop reticle, non-ballistic drop reticle. So a lot of options there. But yeah, super lightweight.
Yeah, these are going to be fantastic.
Ultra short. It's only like 11 inches, weighs like 14 ounces. So super short, super light, but feature packed.
Will this have the dual revolution also on this scope?
Yeah,
they all
still got 80 MOA of travel.
That's also a 30 millimeter tube on that.
30 millimeter tube. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
So ultra lightweight, super compact. So yeah, I think that's going to be a real winner on those really lightweight sheep rifles.
Yeah, the sheep guns. We're putting one together right now for the Idaho Wild Sheep Foundation. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
See, that might be, that'd be that perfect kind of scope for it because it's ultra lightweight, but it's still feature packed. You're not leaving anything at home.
Right.
So the next one coming up is going to be, it's 3.5 to 18 by 50. So same features though, 80 MOA of travel, right? Illuminated, non-illuminated, ballistic turrets, drop reticles. Some of them even have a combination to be able to get the ballistic turret and the drop reticle at the same time. So you got like the best of both worlds, or like all the options and stuff. 50 millimeter objective pulls a lot of light, good clarity, good resolution, 30 millimeter tube, right? So, I mean, again, another ultra lightweight, right?
Yeah, super nice.
18 ounces. Right. So, I mean, even if you wanted to bump that up on your sheep rifle to get a little bit more magnification, you're still not, it's not a heavyweight.
Nice.
So it's ultra lightweight and very trim.
And these are also new for 2025?
New for 2025. Yeah. And one other feature that I forgot to mention on these is it actually has a locking elevation turret. So you can actually lock the elevation turret so it can't be accidentally spun on you, which is a big feature, especially if you're running a rifle in and out of a scabbard.
Yeah.
Right. So it's not accidentally spinning it and then you don't know where you're at, stuff like that.
Yeah.
With the ballistic turret options like this, you actually have 3 different options to be able to set your ballistic turret up to. Go on our app in our, go on the website, use the ballistics program on the website and determine where the colored rings need to be. And you can actually move the colored rings around. So you could have, simple zeros, so like I got a hard zero of like say 100 yards, and then I have a 200, 300, 400 until you run out of colors, and have those set up at where they are. And then you just make yourself a little cheat sheet, where the colors line up. Second one is you can get an MOA ring for it, straight up MOA ring. So just MOA numbers. Yep. You're using a ballistics program like something out of the EL range where you're arranging it and it's telling you what your dope is and how many MOA. You can just run it in the MOA, run it up, and then take your shot. The third option is to actually have a custom ring made for your ballistics. Determine your altitude, what you're shooting, velocity, BC, all those things. Plug it in, have a custom one made for it, so you actually have that on there too. So there's 3 options to be able to do that on just the ones with the ballistic turrets.
Tom, are customers able to go onto the Swarovski and get their custom ring, or do they have to go through a dealer?
They can go on and do it themselves.
They can. Okay,
yeah,
so
they
either
can just go on
or.
there. Yeah, you set yourself up with an account, put in all the pertinent information. Always remember, GIGO, garbage in, garbage out. Make sure your information is as correct as it can be.
Yeah.
And then once you've built the thing, it asks you a couple questions, how you want it to look and so on. And then you say, yep, that's good to go. Push the button on it because you set up an account. It's got your email address in there. So it's going to email you, and it's going to email you with a number. And that number is the actual build for it. That's how you order it. They could come to you with that and say, hey, I need to order one of these. You can actually order it from that number. Yep. You can build one and do the same thing for them. They can go on and, and they could call our customer service and deal with it that way too. So.
Right. Or have a dealer
easier.
like us do that. We do this right now. We collect very specific, precise data in the field in real time. And, that's something that's a shortcut a lot of guys take. So like you said, if you're providing generic information on the front end, you may have a less reliable solution on the back end. So better information going in, better information coming out. And that's the service that we provide as well.
Yeah. And that's the thing is like you could use the box information for a specific, load, caliber, whatever from manufacturer. It'll be okay.
Yeah.
It just won't be great. It won't, it can't be, it's not going to be as precise. I don't know about you, but I hardly ever have seen the velocity be exactly what it is on the box.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Too many variables.
Too many variables, right? And so if I went out and if I get a great velocity on it, an accurate velocity on it, and then I true my BC to distance, and then I provide that information to the turret, I'm going to have a way better product in the end. Yeah. The one question that really always comes up though is, what do I do about elevation? Because and I'm sure you guys see that all the time. It's like, what do I do about elevation? Or you determine it like when you're putting it together. So that's always the big question. It's like, do I set it up for the elevation where I'm at? Do I set it up for the elevation I'm going to? You got to make that best determination. Me personally, when I set up one for myself and I'm hunting here in the state of Arizona, I set it up around 5,000 foot elevation. It's about the middle ground for where our state can be. Because when you run anywhere from say 1,600 to say 8,000, if I run 5,000, then I'm kind of either side of that.
That gives you about 3,000 to 7,000, range to be reliable, right?
Correct. Right. Yeah. And I can, mentally look at say, hey, I'm at 8,000 foot. I need to know that I'm at 8,000 foot. And I also need to know that I'm probably going to be a little bit high, loft a little shot,
right.
depending upon the distance. So I kind of compensate for that.
Right.
And I do that on the other end too. When you're at 1,600. So, I can compensate for it, but so right around in that middle ground area. I don't know what you guys do. If you guys look at it that way or get it down even narrower.
Same. Yeah.
Very similar process.
Yeah. So we're on the same track.
Yeah.
So the third model that's going to be is in this Z5 Plus lineup is the Z5 Plus 5 to 25 by 56. So more magnification, larger objective. Obviously, you can weigh a little bit more, but more light gathering, a little bit more resolution because of the larger lens and stuff. But amazing scope, also same
bigger tube.
Nope, 30 millimeter tube.
Still 30 millimeter tube.
30 millimeter tube. Yep, 80 MOA of travel. Same things, ballistic turret options, ballistic drop reticle options, illuminated, non-illuminated. Locking turret is a standard feature on those, with the BT. So a lot of options as far as reticles. Some simplified, some more advanced. That's one that you can get with both the turret and the drop reticle. A couple different options of drop reticle.
Nice.
So, exciting. Really exciting for us. You're talking right there, 21 ounces.
Yeah, these are amazingly light. Obviously, our listeners can't see exactly how much this weighs, but I'm holding it in my hands, and it's really light. It really is. So any of these scope options on any rifle, there's something to fit everybody.
Sure, yeah. I mean, the goal was to try to create a feature packed, lightweight rifle scope that also had price minded in mind, right? So everything had to be, we had to get, try to be as close to 20 ounces or less the whole way.
Mm-hmm.
Had to be, around that $2,000 mark, a little over or under. So it had to be right around that range. So we hit it right out of the park. So I think we're in great shape there.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah.
Before we move on, one of you I think must have a cell phone on the table, and the microphone's picking it up when you get a message or it vibrates or something. So take that off the counter or whatever you got there.
He's the professional guy.
What do we got next?
Yeah, that kind of covers our new products anyways. So one of the things I wanted to talk to you guys about and kind of go over was one of the big questions that we always get in the field, and I'm sure you guys will probably see this too, and even might have that of your own, is how do I clean my binoculars?
Mm-hmm.
I have run into many in the field that probably have never been cleaned since the day they actually peeled them out of the box. Some of it shows really bad.
Sure.
But yeah, it's one of the questions we always get. So how do I clean these?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a big deal. Folks come in and you've got a very nice and expensive piece of optic, and you're worried about it. Especially with the fact of cleaning it. It's out in the field, and whether you're in the rain or the snow or the fog or whatever, the thought is it's intact and it's going to be fine. But then when someone wants to go clean it, they get nervous about cleaning it because they're going to put water on it potentially. So they're sealed units. They're all sealed units. Yeah. They can be run underwater. They're not going to get any water inside of them. Yeah. But there is a neat little process, and there's actually a nice kit that you have, right? That we can actually utilize and our customers can get. Right.
Yeah. So we actually offer a cleaning kit. It's a pretty much self-contained unit that has everything that you would need to, effectively clean your binoculars without wrecking them. You still can wreck them. You just got to be careful about it. So, but yeah, I mean, the binoculars themselves, especially all current binoculars, are all waterproof submersible. So we can actually take our binoculars like this NL 1452. It gets really dirty up, riding around side by side, and it gets really messed up. I can actually run it under the water and do a lot of good by cleaning it that way first and foremost, cleaning up all the garbage that builds up around the lenses and stuff. Mm-hmm. Usually it's around the eyepieces, not so much on the objectives, but it happens all the same.
Yeah.
So one of the things I do on these is the eye cups are actually removable on our binoculars. We actually design these to be serviceable in the field. When these get wrecked, you can actually just contact us or reach out to you guys and actually order some of these and get them and replace them yourself. Some manufacturers, you got to send them in. It's not a process that you can do in the field or do on your own. So that's one of the features that we have that makes us unique. So what I like to do is I like to take those eye cups off right away. First thing I do, and then I usually take off my objective covers. Some of them are the ones that are going to be around the outside tube. The ones on the NLs and like the ELs, the newer versions, they're actually attached to the edge. Some people aren't aware that these actually pop off here. So I like to just take my thumbnail, and I just press on them a little bit and just kind of get it to start coming off. I'm running parallel to the lens, so I'm pushing on it parallel to the lens. And I'll just push it off, and they actually just come off like that. These are also serviceable in the field. So I like to get them out of the way so that I can get the water in there and stuff. But once I've got them kind of stripped down like this, I like all the crust and stuff that's around the edges and stuff. I like to use one of these dry brushes like this. This is kind of like a shaving brush. And I like to kind of just blow on it and just kind of brush those bigger chunks off of there. Just get those big lumps off of there that I can actually get right away with that. And the other option that comes in the cleaning kit is like one of the little bulb syringes, so you can kind of blow the air off that. These work really good when you just got dust and it's dry. Once I've got those big chunks off of there, I'm going to take it right to the faucet. I'm going to flush it out, water, just down inside. I'm going to just kind of wash the whole thing over, just flood it with water and just kind of shake it off and get all that garbage that's down inside in here, because this messes up your eye cups and it also transfers back up on the lenses and stuff. It's in the focus mechanism, all that dust. Get that all cleaned out of there. And then my next step is to get that water off there, especially in Arizona where our water is so hard that it will spot really bad.
Right.
And I'll just take, I just use toilet paper. Toilet paper's super wicking, super absorbent, but fairly scratch free. And I'll just kind of make a little wad of it, and I just kind of like dab and just pull that water off of there. And it kind of gets all that bulk of that water off of there, so I can do the next cleaning process. The next cleaning process for me is to use, like in that kit, is actually this lens cleaning solution. And that's what we will use to actually clean the lenses themselves. So I'll put a little bit of that on there, and then I'll take the cloth that comes in the kit, because it's got this nice little cleaning cloth. And I'll actually just kind of work with that lens solution on there, and just kind of in a circular fashion from the center out to the edge, just kind of bring it around in a circle and then stop. Once I've gone to the edge, just stop. Then I'll shake off the cloth, find a new spot, and do the next lens. Same thing from the center, working my way out to the very edge and stop.
Yeah.
And I'll do that 4 times essentially.
Right.
Looking for any of those little spots on there that I might leave behind. If I see something that I left behind, I'll just kind of a little bit of breath, kind of polish that off of there.
Yep. And there's no worry, no issue, no concern. I mean, you could literally submerge these in a sink full of water.
Correct.
And those are going to be good.
Yeah, you can just put water in the sink and just kind of flush it around and shake it around. You'll see dirt, settle into the bottom.
With all new Swaros, do they still come with a little brush and a little bar of soap?
They still come with the brush and the bar
and
of soap.
You can still use that for the outside armor.
Use that for the outside armor. So I use the brush and the soap. Kind of what you do is you kind of wet the brush, wet the soap, kind of do it like you're doing shaving. Kind of get that brush all, lathered up, and just kind of do the armor. You don't want to don't do it on the lenses.
Right.
You just want to do that on the armor.
Yeah.
Then clean that armor off, and then you can just rinse that off there. And we'll rinse all that soap off, and then work on those lenses individually again. So yeah, I like to, like I said, that dry brush. Yeah. Clean off the big chunks, a little bit of air, even just blowing on it works too. Right. I like to use gravity. So when I clean these, I like to hold them upside down and blow this way. Yeah. And the dirt falls off on here. Yeah. And then whatever gets trapped on this, I like to run it on my sleeve, on my clothes. So it pulls the dirt out of the brush, tracks it back to me, kind of keeps my brush a little clean. Yeah. And then always when you're working with the claws, I always like to use a new section every time I touch a lens, so I don't pick up a piece of dirt and then grind it in. And I always go from the center to the edge and never back again.
Gotcha.
And then new spot, center to the edge, back out. And the harder part's going to be to try to do these objective lenses, right? Because you got that kind of that bowl,
little dip in there.
Yeah, so you're going to have to get into the edges, and usually what you do is you go around in circles, and then you pull yourself out to the very edge and then bail.
Yep.
Yeah. And then don't go back in with that spot again and do it over again. And the other thing you can use is those pre-moistened lens cleaning cloths, the kind of cloths that kind of use on your glasses and stuff, work really well. I like to use those, kind of like make a little applicator out of it, do the center to the edge, change spot, center to the edge, change spot, do that over and over again. And then the last thing I do with that cloth is I'll take it and I'll rub it around all the metal pieces and stuff like that, just kind of get all that dust and dirt off of there. But if you periodically clean your binoculars, one, you have less problems with your eye cups filling up with dirt and then one day not working. Yeah. And two, you just increase the lifespan of your binocular.
Yeah,
and,
for sure.
And the performance.
Yeah.
Most people don't even know how bad their glass is because it's like slow over time. Yeah. It's getting dirtier and dirtier and dirtier. It's like wearing out the tires on your truck. And then one day you get brand new tires on and you're like, oh man, this is like rides now.
That little film that gets in your car windshield.
Yeah.
Same that you don't necessarily see, and then you clean it. You're like, oh wow, I could really see.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So that's the same thing. It's like most people don't know how bad their glass or how it's not performing to its peak,
right?
Because it's so dirty. And then once you clean it, they go, holy cow, it's brand new again.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's great. I think Precision Hunting Supply, we're going to be able to offer that service for our customers. Come in and let us evaluate them. We'll give them a quick clean, and we'll also be able to look through your optics and see if there's anything else from our aspect that may be wrong. There might be something out of focus or a chip on your lens, and there's all kinds of ways to send these back to Swaro, and they go through them completely. They'll service them, and there's a good way to do that. So if guys are thinking about that, don't wait till hunting season. Try to do that ahead of hunting season because I'm sure there's going to be a delay, right, to actually get your Swaros sent in and repaired and or cleaned or fixed and back to us.
Yep.
But it's always the last. Sometimes the last thing that you think about is like, oh, I'm going on a hunt. Better look at optics. You pull your optics up and crud, they're out of focus. And now you got to deal with that whole thing. So bring them in to us. We'll take a peek at them. We've got extra parts here too, that we can always that are for sale or for warranty purposes. We can always take care of that. But being an authorized dealer, we have access to the full line of everything.
Right. Yeah. And that
So
same procedures work on the spotting scopes too. So you can do the same things on those big spotting scopes like that. It's just larger pieces.
Right.
Yeah. So just to summarize that, this is a free service that we're going to be offering. This is specific to Swarovski Optiks. And it's a free service. It's a free cleaning. But it's not just a cleaning, it's an inspection. So if there's something wrong, we can have it repaired, replaced right there in the shop. But if it requires something, a little bit more in depth, like you said, a lens, we will send that into Swarovski for you and manage that for the customer. So I think a lot of the professionals, a lot of guys and outfitters are really going to like this. Guys and gals who are using their optics year round are really going to appreciate this free service.
Yeah, just to clarify, we're going to help the customer likely with that process. It's going to be many times easier for them to, we can point them in the right direction, go to this website, click all this kind of stuff, but otherwise we're going to sort of play middleman with that. So, but we can help them absolutely, 100%, get them in the right direction, identify what parts they need. If they're having any trouble getting a hold of Swaro customer service or whatever, we get a hold of Tom and he helps us out. So we've got all the hookups here at PHS.
Good. Excellent. Good stuff.
Yeah,
Thank you for that overview.
That inspection thing is kind of a big deal because sometimes, kind of like when your tires wear out on your truck, you don't even know you have a problem. It's been this slow process of change, and you just don't even know it's there until somebody else looks at it and goes, have you ever noticed this problem? And you're like, I never noticed that at all.
Right.
And so now it's, pointed out and you can actually get it addressed. And most people, when they get it back, they didn't even realize they had a problem until they get it back and realize how good it is.
Yeah.
Right. How nice it is. So it's something that we can absolutely assist you with and get somebody back on track and using their product the way it should be.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll have the ability for customers who are local, obviously, to come in store and we can provide that service. It doesn't take a long time, depending on how busy we are. We could many times get it done same day. For our out-of-state customers, there's going to be a video that's going to be available online. Swarovski already has one demonstrating everything that you already went through. They're more than able to go through that. But if there's ever a question, concern, uncertainty, anything like that, give us a call, if nothing else, and we'll help you, walk through it and get you taken care of.
Yeah. The only caveat that I would say on there is there are a couple older models that are quite old, like the old SLC 8x30s, like the first gens, the Mark 1s and 2s and 3s and stuff. Those were not waterproof submersible at that time. They were water resistant. They were not waterproof submersible. So it's one of those things that if you are in question whether or not it is, reach out to you guys and you can tell them, don't put that under the faucet, or you can. Yeah. Right.
Important disclaimer: not all Swarovski optics are water submersible.
Yeah, there's still. So we make a product that lasts for a very long time. I've seen some stuff of ours that's running that 40-year-old stuff. Yeah. It's the old school stuff that wasn't quite there yet. That wasn't waterproof submersible. They are water resistant.
Gotcha.
And the thing is they're still being used in the field. So they were built to be used for a long period of time. So things have changed, and some things have been outdated by that, not being waterproof submersible. And, a lot of stuff is now. All of it is actually, so.
Right. All the more modern products are.
Yeah, all the modern products. Yep. ELs, NLs.
Including the big ones, the BTX and
even those.
Your spotters. Yeah.
Yep. No fear of getting that in the rain.
What else you guys got down there? What other goodies you have?
That's the bulk of it. That's the new stuff, the new rifle scopes. That's the new EL ranges with tracking assistant. That's the new cleaning process.
Yeah.
All of the other things, the NL1452s are slowly but surely still making their way in.
Yes.
We're getting those on a more regular basis for our customers who have been back ordered for a while. Would you anticipate that, sometime next year, more stores are going to have those readily available?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, as the pipeline is filled and back orders are, getting taken care of. And quite honestly, I don't think we knew it was going to be popular. I just don't know if we knew at what level it was going to be popular. So, we're doing our level best to build as many as we can and get them out as fast as possible without compromising anything. Yeah. Not compromising any of the quality. But it takes time, it's like we, like I said, I don't think we anticipated where we were going to be seeing 14s go to. I definitely have seen them go into markets that I did not imagine that people would be buying them. So that's what's kind of happened there.
Yeah, Swarovski just makes good stuff, man. It's got a price tag attributed to it, but once you start utilizing them, I tell people all the time who come in, saying, well, what about this other brand or what about this other brand? I'm like, until you've seen them, put your eyes through it, use them, especially out in the field. You can only see so much, looking outside, just a store or many times inside a store. Guys, that's the only spot that you can look. You're like, oh wow, these are great, until you actually get out in the field and use them. So, just the ability to have those 14s out there, the 12s that are out there, the NLs, and now the new ELs that are coming out, and these new rifle scopes that are lightweight and packed full of different features. I think 2025 is going to be huge for Swaro and getting customers into the right optic and or the right rifle scope, for whatever their purpose be. But I think there's a lot of exciting stuff coming up next year, man.
Yeah, right. Yeah, one of the things I didn't touch on was with the new EL range 1242, one of the things that we did was we actually revamped our ballistics pro, basically our app for for like your iPhone and your other phones. But the apps, we combined a lot of the apps all in one place, where it used to be you had a separate app for this and a separate app for that and a separate one for this. Now they're all under one umbrella. So It's called the Hunt app. And it covers, the EL range, the DS rifle scope that has the laser rangefinder built into it, doing the ballistic turrets and stuff for the new Z5 Pluses and all the old products. And so everything under one is right in one spot. So that one app, you can just toggle through it to the different products that you have, set them up and do that. It also is where the tracking assistant is. So you can do your tracking assistant and put the pins on the map and do that.
Right.
So literally combining all those different apps into one spot makes it very convenient. I mean, at one time we probably had 4 or 5 different apps going at the same time for different things. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So combining it all together.
Yeah. One thing that we don't have here that you just mentioned, the DS rifle scope with the built-in rangefinder. Can you speak to that for a couple minutes?
Yeah, so we actually have a laser range-finding rifle scope. It's called the DS. It's actually in its 2nd generation. A bunch more features were added to it from the 1st generation with some different reticle options and some different things like that. But yeah, it's basically a laser range-finding rifle scope that does also does your ballistics correction inside of it. Once I've ranged, I've set it all up and stuff, and then laser range, it'll actually give me my holdover right on the screen inside of the rifle scope. So it's really plug and play.
Yeah.
It's kind of an easy button.
Yeah. And that's a first focal plane scope.
It
correct?
Is it's actually kind of like a combined first focal plane, second focal plane. So your hard reticle is in the second focal plane.
And then the holdovers essentially would be sort of in your
in the first focal plane.
Yeah.
So and that's one thing about these. We didn't really touch upon that on this. These Z5 Pluses are all second focal plane rifle scopes.
Okay.
So they are, and that's traditional hunting rifle scope for us, right? So so those are second focal plane. But yeah, that DS rifle scope is a really cool product. 40 millimeter tube, so she's a little, she's thick.
Yeah.
But it's a great rifle scope with that, and that's what it takes to put all those features in there. Have that ballistics program and angle compensation and all the things to do it. It's got to be a bigger tube. So
we were watching some videos on it the other day, and just how it looks on a rifle. It looks pretty cool.
Yeah,
the whole look of it. Yeah, it looks bigger. It looks chunkier. It's a little bit more meat to it, than sitting a standard rifle scope. But it's packed full of features.
Yeah,
it's just got a lot of cool feature to it. So I'd be excited to have some customers want to be interested in that and be able to show them those and everything too.
Yeah,
and that's a 40 millimeter tube.
40 millimeter tube. Yeah. So I actually come from an era so far back, 25 years ago, that we actually had our laser range-finding rifle scope then, which was called the LRS, which was similar in principle. It just gave you range, though. It just told you yardage. And it had some other, reticle features and stuff like that. But yeah, I think that thing was run on like AA batteries and stuff. Now we're like using one of the little SF123 batteries, Surefire type batteries, that kind of thing. So yeah, that was a beast. Big old square brick.
A couple other things that we want to touch on is you got some extra gear coming out this year, right? You got a couple things that are currently out last maybe a few months or so, or latter part of 24, but you also got some new stuff coming out with regard to packs and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so we actually had so this year we introduced a new like a bino pouch system, with a suspension system on it. Works really good. Magnetic closure on it works really nice. So we had that, and then for this year, that's one right there. So this guy right here.
I knew we had one in the store. There it is.
Yeah, look at that, huh? So yeah, magnetic closure works really well. All the harness and stuff is stowed in there. A couple pockets on the side, couple of attachment point on the bottom and stuff, which is actually really cool. And there's actually some attachment points on the wings too that come around your body. Yep. So the bottom and the sides and stuff. So this was out for this year. Really nice, attractive piece. It works really well. It'll hold up to the 52. So like you can put a 1452 in it. For this year, we actually have some features coming out for it too. So there'll be some more extra pouches. So you can get some side pouches for it and a bottom pouch that will attach to it. That will be available for 2025. And then this is one of another piece that we've had for a while. So this is our one of our backpacks. It's a really nice, got storage up on the top for a pair of binos, and then the center section, a couple tube pockets, like the compact spotting scope fits in the tube pockets and stuff. Really nice lightweight pack. So that is available.
And then you've got two more larger packs.
Right? Yeah. So we actually have two more larger packs. One is I would consider that a day pack. And we got kind of like that extended day pack size, like in that 30, 30 liter-ish. And then we got another one that's even bigger than that. It's like in that 40 liter-ish, which is a big hunting type pack.
Right.
Yeah, you brought that 32 by the store there last week, like a 3200, right? I like that. I want to get one for Mexico. Did you bring one today by any chance?
I didn't bring it with me today. I should have. Yeah, I should have.
We've got some on the way. We've got some on
order. Yeah. So.
Okay, good. We'll have to we'll showcase it when we get some. But I like that pack. I'd like to get one and take it down to Mexico. I'm ready for a new pack.
Yeah, I think that one's just like that right size for kind of like that little bit more than a day. It's a little bigger than a day pack. I can pack a little bit more gear in it. Same thing, got a lid pocket for your binos, and then you got some other features on it like tube side for tripod, or you could actually run a spotting scope on there. So it's got some really good features. Water, place to put a water bladder inside, and I like that. And then the bigger pack actually is more of a, like a true hunting pack.
Right.
That the main body of the bag can actually separate from the frame section, so you can actually put stuff between it. So you can pack meat between there or other gear and stuff like that, coats and stuff, and cinch them up with the cinch straps. But same thing, lid pocket for your binos, two pockets for tripods and spotting scopes. But another cool feature on both those larger packs, it actually has a rifle carrier. So a place to put the buttstock and a way to strap it to the side of the pack. So it kind of gets you hands free, so you can use your walking sticks and stuff. So really exciting products from us, made from a company overseas that just knows mountaineering packs, and they do a really good job with these packs.
Yeah, they're cool. Tom was able to bring these in. We got to demo them the other day and check out all the features. That's really the hard part about packs is you don't know by looking online or reading a review or that kind of thing.
Right.
So we're going to have these packs available here in store here pretty soon. So, our customers can come in and at least, put their hands on it and try them on. And we can, show you all the different features and adjustments and all that kind of stuff. I thought all three of them were great. They all had, they fit really nice. They had nice adjustability to it. That large pack had a significant way to be able to expand from that main pack to be able to put quarters or anything. It was really wide.
It comes way out there, and then it has a bunch of straps that you can yank it all nice and tight, keep it from flexing and sliding around and stuff. So that one's pretty impressive. That was, we really knocked it out of the park with that one.
Yeah, for sure. So that just, cool stuff coming out from Swaro all the time. We got the rifle scopes, we got the new ELs, we got the 1452s. I mean, that's been a lot of change in a relatively short amount of time.
It's been a run for the last couple of years.
As a sales guy, it's a lot to keep up on, right?
Yeah. So all the NL Pure models that came out pretty much together, and then the 14s and the 10s, and that's hit it right out of the park again. And now another set of new products with the EL range and the rifle scopes coming out, which is really exciting for us because this is something that we've been really wanting. This is North America based, you know what I mean? This is really about North American hunting right here. It's got to be feature packed, lightweight, awesome glass. It has to have all those things, options for turrets and no turrets and however you want it. But ultimately it's got to be price minded and the weight is right. It's got to be there.
Yeah.
And you said Swarovski has a very special anniversary coming up here.
Well, actually, it was this year, 24, and 24 was our 75th anniversary.
This year was 75.
So the 24 was our 75th anniversary. Yep.
Yeah. So you
So
turned 76. I really like the backpacks. I just want to come back to them because I thought they were really good looking. When you put your hands on them, you could tell that they're good quality.
Yeah.
I like that 3,200 range, right? Obviously, if I'm hiking into a wilderness area, spending a few days, it might be nice to have a 7,000 or so pack. But that 3,200 is great for day-to-day hunting. I really like the looks of it, like the feel of it, and anxious to get my hands on it, as well as some of these new optics you're talking about. So really exciting times for Swarovski.
Yeah, it's like we just when you think we can't do it again, like we can't do it better, we can't do it again, we can't. People ask me, it's like, what's next? I'm like, I don't know, man. After 25 years, I thought we had already peaked, right, long ago, and it's like every time because I was there when we didn't have ELs and we were just SLCs, and then we got the EL, and it was amazing.
Right.
And I'm like, this is it. We're not getting any better than this.
Here come the NLs.
Well, actually, we developed the EL again.
Oh, did you?
And then the
another
SLCs,
version?
because SLCs weren't HD. Then they went HD. And the ELs weren't HD. Didn't have field flattening lenses. And then they did. And then I'm like, that's it. That's the best it's going to ever be. And then we brought out the NL. And it was like, oh, man. Like, how does it get better? I don't want to even ask that question anymore.
Right.
Like, what do we do next?
Right.
That's the 75th anniversary. There's a lot of exciting things going on at Swarovski. So thank you for joining us, Tom. What do we miss? What did we forget?
Man, I think we covered it all. Covered a lot of stuff. I'm gonna touch one last time on this. This is with regard to the cleaning optic kit that Swarovski makes. It has all of those different accessories in there: the glass cleaner, the brush, the microfiber little puffer. So we're gonna obviously have those available in store again for those who need it shipped to them. We can ship it to them. For those who want to come into the store and check it out, at least you've got something. And then obviously bring your optics in. We'll be able to assess them. We'll give them a free clean. If there's something that needs to be replaced and a warranty, we'll point you in the right direction, and we'll get them taken care of.
Right on, guys. Thank you so much, Tom. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks, Tom.
Anytime.
Fantastic. Good stuff, everybody. Yeah, that's excellent. A lot of exciting things going on at Swarovski. So thank you again for joining us this morning, everyone. That is the Bloodline Podcast by Precision Hunting Supply. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.